voice be heard. Tune into Vikings Fan Line following every single Vikings game presented by the Minnesota Lottery. Listen in right here on KFAN or anywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Sorry for that dramatic instrumental pause. Yes, Fan Line. Fan Line was a blast yesterday with Ron Johnson, and now we pause. Team's 5-0. Minnesota Vikings. I got some text messages. Hey, guys, Kim here. And he puts in parentheses, yes, I'm a dude named Kim. I wonder if he's ever...
That's funny.
My
dad's name is Kim, actually.
You think
maybe he's texting in.
But you got to be a strong dude to be named Kim, right?
Oh, yeah.
I've checked every inch of my construction site in northern North Dakota. Can't find that first loss. Love the show. Skull Vikes. Keep those text messages coming. Parker Fox in studio, final hour. It was fun doing Fan Line for the Vikings. How fun was it on Saturday night being at Huntington Bank watching PJ's team beat the Trojans? Huh?
Yeah, a lot of fun. Obviously, a team like USC comes in and, we're joking. We're an okay team right now. We're 2-3. We're playing all right. Brosmer looked good against Michigan, but it's like, okay, USC's coming in. There's different kind of speed and talent. And I'm sitting with Chris Oppenbell and Phil Howard, some of the former Gophers, and we're kind of talking about like, oh, this Zachariah Branch guy, he's pretty legit. He ends up with, I don't even know, did he have a catch? Maybe 2 or 3 catches, 3 catches for 10 yards, it says here. So honestly, the energy in there was just awesome, man. We dominated on all facets of the game. Brosmer only threw the ball 19 times for 169, but I thought he looked excellent. Obviously, giving the ball to Darius Taylor 25 times for 144.
Doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. And then obviously, I think if you kind of watch what the Gophers are doing here with some of their route running stuff, they're just leaking Darius out and they're playing that little pass down game to him. And he gets 5 catches for 56 yards. Like, if you're throwing the ball for an average of 11.2 to your running back, like you're doing something right there. But no, just overall, the energy was awesome. And then I get home and I see your tweet about a little angst about storming the field, Nordo. What's going on here?
Yeah, all you kids ruined my night rushing the field like that. I knew as soon as I hit send, I'm like, this is probably not even worth mentioning. I don't really care that they're storming the field and it's an awesome win. I really got to put that, what? Who cares? Whatever. And you know what? A few people disagreed with me.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of the platform.
There you go.
Is it's a platform for coming together, for community. It's a platform for discourse.
Yeah.
It's a platform for politely disagreeing. I stepped. I'm the idiot of the group. That's fine. I'm happy. I'm happy to be that guy. It looked like it was absolute mayhem though. And that was the key. I said it with Ron. And, I didn't dig deep on it with PJ timing wise and everything, but, storm the field, don't storm the field. It's really it's a very unimportant topic that I just shouldn't have mentioned. My bad. But the key to it is this fan base is thirsty, man.
Yeah.
And third quarter in particular, you miss, we were going through it off the air. It's like the North Carolina game and Max Johnson, tough injury and it's Brad's kid. Mm-hmm. So there's that connection and all of that. I didn't think Max was very good, to be honest, in that game. But that third quarter, and that's kind of been a theme where in the Iowa game, Hawkeyes had the ball for like 13 of the 15 minutes and just ran it up, and it was out the gate from there. And then even last night, there's that 7-minute possession by the Trojans. That's why I did mention that with the coach is he goes for it in 4th and 2, and it's just the coach internally is feeling that vibe. Like these third quarters are a problem, and he gets the conversion with Darius there. I know they end up punting, but there was a statement made there that I really felt. But the fan base and being on the field and being excited about it, we're carrying off the kid from Esco, and it's just an absolute party. Like the fan base is thirsty for this team for moments like this. And it was awesome to see that everyone got paid off, and you were there. I don't know. Did you go onto the field?
I didn't go onto the field. No, I didn't. I think
because you know how far down that drop is.
Exactly, and I had practice all week. The knees are a little sore, man. Went through a couple deals here, but no, I think a younger version of myself probably would have hopped down there and gone and celebrated. But I was making sure I got home in time and get some rest for the Vikings at 8:30 start. But no, just the energy in there, and you hit the nail on the head. I think just Gopher fans are so thirsty and so hungry to want something to celebrate, right? Like it's cool to win against Rhode Island. It's cool to beat Nevada. You got to take care of those games. But number 11 comes into your house. A new team in the Big Ten. All these Pac-12 schools are talking about how they're going to come in here and run the score up on these Big Ten teams. Now they come in here and you hold them to 17 points and you put up 24 and you beat them. I think there's a lot of excitement from Gopher fans, and I think we're trending in the right direction. I think this is a huge win for PJ. There's been, obviously I don't think PJ's going to, get fired or can, but there's been rumblings and you hear it, from, fans
frustration not winning conference games.
Exactly. And you see the stuff on Twitter and that's a bunch of whatever, who cares about that, but you see it. And I'm just super happy for PJ too, because obviously he, comes on here, he does a great job with us, but then just, just the way he's kind of treated at the U is like, I think he's such a great dude. Like he comes around to our practice every once in a while. He'll say hello. He'll have a conversation with us. He'll invite us to practice if we want to come, whatever it may be. Like, just super happy for PJ, happy for the guys. And then, a guy like Coy Parrish, man, that's what it's all about. Me being a Minnesota kid myself, it's like, you want to be in those situations, right? And it's like he gets carried off the field. It's probably the coolest he's ever felt in his life, man. Because it's like not only did you do it, but you did it wearing a Minnesota Gopher uniform. And it's like I'm sure he wore a Gopher uniform when he was 4 or 5 years old, playing in the backyard, and thought of moments like that. And it's like dreams to reality. That's some pretty cool stuff. So I'm happy for that kid.
Well, and part of it too, and they're going to have some struggles post Caleb Williams, Miller Moss. He has a right to get better, and I'm sure they will. But it's Lincoln Riley, it's glitz, it's glamour, it's USC. It's a helmet school, it's institution, and the fact that they were able to make pull the right strings in the right moments. Mm-hmm. You mentioned whether it's Coy being carried off, it's the recruits that were in attendance, all of those things. But to PJ in particular, he needs. I mean, we need victories here.
Yeah, no,
and so it is the business of wins and losses. And I thought the question you asked him was great in terms of what you got out of him from the standpoint. He acknowledges the wins and losses, but there is another element to this as well, where the culture that he's brought up, the program, keeping good kids like Coy home, being an A topic, and building kind of the idea. Because similarly, so PJ going through that, and just the importance of culture, the importance of alumni, right? Connecting those relationships, being proud that you went to the University of Minnesota. Conversely, in some ways, I'm talking with Ron here in studio earlier, and he was also, if it's purely about football, these days, do you have to go to a certain spot? Because you're going to be on video, you will be discovered if you're really, really good. Yeah. And Ethan Robinson, a guy that started out at Bucknell, he was able to turn that tape into now being a member of the Gophers. And he had a heck of a game last night, too.
Yeah, he did.
But kind of the idea of, there's NIL in the mix now, so there's a financial component, and kind of losing maybe the simplicity of just the aura of playing for a program that you grew up for, for better or worse. And yes, we need the wins, but I think PJ there's a magnetism to the program, and he's a big part of that.
Yeah, and I think there's a magnetism to what he does on campus as well. Like, people are excited for PJ. People want to see PJ win. You watch the post game interview. I got to watch it back, the Big Ten interview, and people are cheering PJ's name, and they're the PJ chants going on, and and that's just kids starting it. Like, I think you're at this game, and it's like we're so thirsty for something good to happen. We're so thirsty to go and storm that field, and once it finally happens, you get number 11 in your house. Like, I don't know, happy for the university, happy for the team. I think it's just, when good things happen at university, it benefits everybody. So I'm definitely hoping to kind of reap some of those benefits this week. Hopefully there's something good in the air. Maybe there's something good at the cafeteria this week. Hopefully we get some maybe some fillets or some New York strip in the cafeteria to celebrate the victory. That would be an ideal dinner tonight, Nordal. That's where my brain goes.
No, the conversations in the athletics department cafeteria is going to be unbelievable. Hope the food is as well. Now you got to go beat UCLA by 40 though.
There you go.
That's the key. We went 1-0 in the USC USC championship season. Now we got to go 1-0 in the Deshaun Foster area UCLA Bruins season. And the Bruins are in transition. Quarterback situation's wonky. You got new head coach. Defense isn't very good. Go to the Rose Bowl and handle business. I think that's the other side of it. Yeah. Like the glee of beating USC. Make a run here, because save for the Penn State game, and it's at Huntington Bank Stadium. That's going to be a fun one, regardless of the result. Hopefully, people are shocked and we're talking about a Gophers win. But really, this last stretch here, very winnable, competitive games for the Gophers to rattle off something here. We can shake off the Iowa beatdown, and we're still frustrated. The refs, screwed us over on the onside kick call at the Big House against Michigan. Man, that third quarter against North Carolina was ridiculous. And Kesich, you're automatic. No, from 27. We felt that vibe with the pro team in the same building and the same upright. Yeah. So now go rattle some off, right?
Yeah, well, I think that's what it's all about too, and I think that's one of the toughest things as an athlete to do. And I think I've had a lot of coaches talk about it, where it's like there's so many flows of being an athlete, right? There's beating USC on your home turf on a Saturday night, and where's the after party? How are we going to celebrate? But then it's also like, hey, Sunday morning rolls around, like we got UCLA. We got to continue to stack this. This isn't a bye week. Like there's another team, and it's the same deal where it's like you're out in public and somebody tells you this great compliment, and then you go on Twitter and you read this diss at you. It's like if you kind of ride these highs and lows, it's going to be really tough to be consistent.
It's an exhausting season.
It's really hard. So it's like you got to try to find ways to just kind of be that even keel, be that that stone cold killer, they say. So I think PJ does a really good job with those guys and believing in that, and has them kind of hardwired to believe that, hey, this was great, but it doesn't matter if you go to UCLA and you get blown out by a 1-4 football team, 0-3 in conference. Like now let's go prove it. Now let's go to UCLA, a team that doesn't do anything specifically great. I think their quarterback situation isn't awesome. They run the football a little bit, but we should be good in the run game. But now it's like, hey, Kay, how do you put this together? How do you go out to UCLA and go win a football game, and then you give yourself a bye week? So I think that's one of the hardest things to do as an athlete. So I'm looking forward to see the response from all the guys.
Yeah, go beat a bad team. That's next up on the menu for them. And I will say that just to go full Rube before we turn the page to the Vikings, at one point or another here over the course of this hour. I'm excited for the local kid, Coy, true freshman. He's an absolute stud. Now, I think it was by injury. Is that accurate that he was getting the opportunity? I forget. Somebody got a concussion. The name's not hitting me right now. But regardless, taking advantage of the opportunity, they get a big punt return. This kid is just off the freaking map right now. So whether we're discussing just at a base level of recruiting or local kids staying home and becoming something, Coy is kicking ass right now.
He was a kid that was climbing that ladder, right? Like he's a big recruit. I think he was a top 100 or top 250. I don't know how football works, but big time recruit. Obviously a Minnesota kid had a
I think Ohio State's entourage was going after him.
Ohio State was going at him. I know he had UCLA, USC, Penn State. He had 1,000 different offers, 1,000 different opportunities. But they got him to stay home. Okay, you keep him home. Now he comes in as a freshman. He's still a freshman, right? So you got fourth year, fifth year guys that have been playing, but now it's like every day in training camp, he's kind of, raising that chart, raising that ladder. And it might have been an injury or some sort of thing, but now he's in the football game. Now he's out on the field, and it's like, okay, you made it through all these kind of preliminary stages. Now go ball out. Now go be the player you are. And he did that. He's been obviously all over the field. He's been doing the punt returning, but it's one of those guys where it's just like, there's some electricity in the air. And it's, I think you're kind of born with that kind of stuff. And you gotta work for it, and you gotta continue to get better and bigger and faster and stronger. But he's a guy that has that it factor. And I think, you saw that with, obviously the interception, but then he gets carried off the field. He's on people's shoulders. This is a 17, 18-year-old kid, in Dickeytown. He's from Esco. What's going on at Esco, man? Is there enough people to carry you off the field at Esco? Is there enough people to storm a field? But
I think they have a co-op.
Yeah, they got a co-op there, probably, something like that. They got probably a good ice cream shop.
They got a Greasy Spoon diner that's unbelievable.
Some triple cheeseburger.
People at Esco don't want to go to Duluth.
No.
I mean, that's and now he's in the heart of Minneapolis making plays on a Saturday night.
Yeah, and it's like, what a great great opportunity for the kid. And then it's also, there's so many things that got to go right to put yourself in that situation. So a lot of credit to him, and I hope there's bigger and better, and I hope he stays a Gopher for 3 years. I tweeted it after the game. I was like, we got to find a way to keep this kid a Gopher for 3 years.
Well, I like how you said 3, because that means then he would be going to
I think he's going to go play in that league.
Go play for a big club.
Yeah, I think he's going to go play in that league. But it's like, how do you, now with this NIL space, how do you keep this kid around? How do you keep him, focused on, being a Gopher, being proud to be a Gopher? And, excited for that kid. And
just even mentioning with Robinson and Bucknell, using that as a further example, like the ability to get on the field. What if he's sitting down with Ryan Day, and Day's like, hey, come to Columbus, and you're probably going to redshirt. But your second year, we have the idea is that you would be coming in with a full head of steam and the ability to compete for and eventually find yourself a job.
Yeah.
Otherwise, and I don't have the terminology in front of me precisely, but it sounded kind of like he was told early on, like, we don't need to do a redshirt here. Like, you're gonna come in, you're gonna participate, you're gonna be a contributing member early and often. I wonder how much of that plays into it. So you got hometown aura, but then there's the pragmatic, I want to play football.
Yeah.
And the opportunity is certainly ripe here.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head right there. It's because it's like, as a football player, as a guy that truly loves football and wants to go out there and play, you're going to put yourself in a position that allows you to do that. Now, if you're a guy that likes social media, and if you're a guy that wants to say, I'm at Ohio State, and I'm on the Ohio State football team, that's great. It's not as fun when you're the third back string and you're sitting at the end of the bench and you're watching them go beat up on teams 47-0. Like, this is pretty sweet. Coming in as an 18-year-old kid, highlighting the moment, Saturday Night Football against USC. Like, I don't know. I think that kid did something right, and it's starting to pay off. And I think that's it's cool when it starts to kind of redeem itself like that.
That's Parker Fox in studio, and it is Parker Fox 24, I believe, via the X machine, and it's Parker Fox 23 via Instagram.
Yeah, a couple different numbers.
Is there any way we could shore up?
Yeah, we gotta fix that. PA got on me about that.
He's at Parker Fox 22 via TikTok. He's got a Threads account that's 21, and Facebook is just Parker_Fox. I don't know if any of that's accurate, but I do know Parker's hanging out. And when we return, all that glee, all that aura from Saturday night transitioned into a set your alarm clocks for a London game. Get the W before lunch. It was a beautiful thing. Vikings 5-0. And I was walking in, Max, you and Max were talking, Parker.
Yeah.
And apparently somebody's been listening or listened to the work that you and Max were doing on Timberwolves postgame. I want to dig into that as well. This is the final hour, 9 to noon. PA is on his way back from London, so it's me, Nordo, hanging out with you, Max and Parker with me to the finish line. We'll have more for you next, but first, chance to win some money.
Yes, sir. The Fan and 2 Men in a Truck want to give you a shot to put $1,000 in your hand with our national cash contest. Enter the keyword GRAND at KFAN.com now for your shot at winning. That's keyword GRAND. Enter it now at KFAN.com.
Fan.
Join former Twins players LaTroy Hawkins and Glenn Perkins, as well as other local celebrities, for Paddles for a Purpose Pickleball Social on October 13th at Minneapolis Cider Company to help raise funds for Hammer and NER, a local nonprofit that provides housing and services to people with developmental disabilities. Enjoy games, food, live music, and more. Get the full details at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
So Parker Fox in studio now, and his partner in crime, Max Fuller, were hooty-hooing and howling with the homies during this most recent NBA season as the Timberwolves found their way to the Western Conference Finals. And we talked about it last week, Parker.
Yeah.
Okay, Karl Anthony Towns, now a member of the Knicks. It was actually kind of weird. I don't know if you were listening or what you were doing on Wednesday, but PA and I were actually at Mayo Clinic Square and did a show there.
Yeah.
But the NBA, I mean, again, we joke about this every year. You still can't even wear the hat of the team you've been traded to on draft night. And the trades and how it works, we got a third team in the mix. I think it was the Hornets, but Keita Bates-Diop is coming from San Antonio. I don't know what went into this entire thing. We got some salary cap to clear to make it. The trade wasn't official. So we just kind of had to spend like half the show well, the entire show before it became official, but whether it was Coach Finch and just, it'd be cool to have a guy that, big guy who can handle the ball and, this, that, and maybe some 3-and-D off the wing, play multiple positions, even potentially play that one spot if necessary, take some tread off the tires of Mike Conley. But then the trade becomes official, and we're out there. I mean, PA and I were just standing above where they had us set up. Great job by Aaron Freeman and PR to get us a spot to watch things and see Julius Randle. Yeah. You see Mr. DiVincenzo, it's my favorite player of the entire deal. Wow. But Carl finally goes to New York, and 9 years here, and there's a lot of emotional connection to all of that. One of the better Timberwolves players to ever put on the uniform. But apparently, Karl Anthony Towns was also a fan of Howlin' with the Homies. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think, obviously, our beloved Carl, I think anybody that is a true Wolves fan, and Max has kind of been dealing with the emotions still. I think he finally admitted that he's doing all right to me today.
It almost ruined his weekend.
Yeah,
took me out.
Yeah, exactly. I don't blame you. I don't blame you, man. He's such a great guy, and it seemed to be the same way. The Knicks are doing their training camp down in Charleston, South Carolina, where my brother plays a little college basketball down there at the Citadel. So, he was at practice and got to talk with Carl. And Carl mentioned to him that during the playoff run that he was aware of the fan and what me and Max were doing with Howlin' with the Homies pre and post game. Noticed that mentioned that he knew who we were, which is a pretty cool deal. So Rube himself, I wonder if he was turning on 100.3 in the big old blacked out Mercedes Benz on the way home. He must have been, Maxo, huh?
He had to have been, man. Maybe he was watching us take our shirts off and roll around and screaming the whole night after that Denver Nuggets Game 7 win, man. So maybe he was doing it. Maybe the whole Wolves locker room was doing it along with us.
Yeah, he probably had his shirt off in the car. He's pretty warm, Who knows what it was? But yes, Cat gave us some love. So I think,
how about that? He loves Howlin' with the Homies.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool, right? So I think that's just a testament to Cat. He's just was a Minnesota guy through and through, and we'll miss him, no doubt. But excited about what is there to come with the Wolves. A lot of preseason stuff happening right now. I don't think they play tonight, but I think they got another one around the corner coming up. But Rob Dillingham was special in the first one. He looked like a natural out there. DiVincenzo got some good minutes. They didn't really play the starters a whole lot, but just seeing some of these guys, a young guy like Josh Minot out of Memphis, not a rookie, but a second or third year guy that's got a lot of length, athleticism, size. So putting a lot of good stuff together. Terrence Shannon Jr. had some really awesome highlights, some good flashes, but just in general, a lot of really good things coming from Minneapolis. So hopefully they can keep together and start meshing. And I think Julius Randle and DiVincenzo are going to be key pieces to a deep playoff run this year. So
yeah, Friday they'll be here against the Sixers. It looks like they have 4 more preseason games, and then Tuesday the 22nd they will kick off the season, and they're at we get to see LeBron and
LA,
Bronny.
Right? Yeah,
Game 1.
There we go.
And we were joking off air. LeBron sets the pick and hands the ball off to Bronny, takes his only shot of the night, clanks the 3. Yeah. I wonder what that drive home was like.
Yeah. How many more misses till he's with the South Bay Lakers? That's the true question.
Yeah, no kidding
pretty
there.
Cool. Pretty cool to see that though, man. And I think LeBron played like half of the preseason game last night. Had like 16 points in 19 minutes or something. It's just ageless.
It's ridiculous.
You're 20, man. It's good. Whatever. It's crazy.
You mentioned Dillingham, and so this is non-basketball player. I've always made sure to note, like, what were you like as playing basketball as a kid, Nordo? Well, I was 6 of 10 from the line at the Red Gym in the Mankato YMCA. So I knew early that this was not going to be the sport for me. But just watching, and you guys are doing this at practice with Ben Johnson's team, and you guys are about a month away from playing games too. This is sweet.
Yeah.
Fall is upon us. But I'm just watching Dillingham, the rookie, and I saw him in summer league, and he's having trouble finding his shot. Super fast, good passer, like really pumped for Dillingham. But you're just watching these guys. Rudy's hitting long shots, and Dillingham. As we were setting up the show, I got there at about 8, and we go live at 9, of course, with Finch. Dillingham's out there shooting and going. He put up, at one point, he had hit like 15 in a row off the glass. Yeah. He's just absolutely clowning around and draining 28-footers. I'm watching the old man Ingles put 6 in a row through. Like, there's such an amazing thing between running your local Lifetime gym rec basketball league and the pros, dude, like Conley just, I mean, putting in it. You got Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards was mad at himself because he missed one shot and then proceeded to put 30 straight down. Like, it's just, it's carnival-like. It's crazy. The disparity of talent between somebody who thinks that, if things go the right way for me, win games, all of that. Like, it's just, it was artful to watch these guys even practicing, like the difference between someone who's got it and somebody who doesn't.
Well, I think that's a really good thing that you're able to witness. I think if you're a fan and you ever want to kind of see the excellence, go to a game early. Go to an NBA game and get there like a half hour early and watch these guys go through their pregame warm-ups. It's insane.
Which are intense, by the way.
Really intense. Like, I think obviously like Kobe kind of set the standard for that intensity with the Mamba mentality and stuff, but it trickles down to everybody. Like, it's full sweat. It's full workout before a game. They're getting to all their spots, and it's crazy what these guys can do. Even guys like Rudy Gobert and Luka Garza, who aren't known for like stepping out and making shots, like they make shots. Like, they know how to do it. Yeah, it might not be their role on their team, but like, these guys are so dang talented. It's super fun to watch. And then obviously a guy like Rob Dillingham, who he has it, man. Like, he's got that hooper, that aura that we kind of talk about.
Super springy.
Yeah,
like, there's something cool about him for sure.
There's something in his step where it's like he's a hooper, and he showed that in the first preseason game. 25 minutes, 21 points, 4 assists and a rebound. So just really looking forward to what this team has. But like we said, if you get a chance to go watch these guys early and just kind of see their personalities and watch them work out, like, it's talented, man.
The worst guy in the NBA is a specimen. The worst guy in the NBA is a dude.
Yeah.
And they don't miss anything. Now, in the game, we got full house. We got people getting loud, with their feet on the floor. They paid all that money for the tickets, so apparently they have an opinion. Like, all of that aside, obviously there are some that are better in those moments than others. But all of these, the worst player in the NBA is an athletic freak.
Remember when Brian Scalabrine, when people were ripping him for being bad, and then he held a tournament for regular people to play against him, and nobody even scored a point?
Just took him down.
Just to be like, guys, listen, there's levels to this.
Yeah. This isn't a walk in the park, man.
You might be close to the court, but you don't understand how wide this gap is.
Right.
This Grand Canyon-sized gap between me and you.
The white Mamba was closer to being the black Mamba than a regular person was to being the white Mamba.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, how fun was it, kegs and eggs style yesterday with the Vikings, huh?
Man, so exciting. Yeah.
Wasn't always pretty, but they got the win.
No, I was doing a little sweating. I was doing a little nail biting. My fingernails are loose on that last drive. But I think it's just what this team does, man. They're tough. And I think we talked about that third quarter, that the Gophers had, such an important time. Yeah, we haven't been great as a team, in the third quarter. This one against the Jets, we end up losing the third quarter, just 3 rip. Want to see the Vikings be able to kind of put 2 halves together. Still, I don't think we've played a complete football game yet. We've looked good, but, don't think we've really completed one. I think if you're lying to yourself, if you said that was the best effort that we could put forward on Sunday, we did some really good things, but Darnold goes 14 for 31 with a pick and a 19.5 QBR. Like, that's not going to win you a Super Bowl. I'm not stressing about it.
Definitely his worst game in purple. Yeah,
I'm not stressing about it too much right now. Going into a bye and 5-0, you can't complain about too many things. But still, the competitor in me wants to see more and more, and I want us to get better and better. And but still, really impressive win. Rodgers threw the ball 54 times. Didn't look like he wanted to throw the ball anymore at the end, but the purple comes out at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and take care of business. And I think that's what it's all about. It's about chopping away and taking care of business. And now you set yourself up 5-0, and it's like, hey, you go 500 the rest of this year, and you end up with 11 wins. Like, you put yourself in a playoff picture, and then so really happy with how the purple looked on Sunday, and hopefully we heal up in this bye. Obviously, Jones going down. That's a tough one.
We need him to be okay.
You need a healthy Aaron Jones.
Yep.
I didn't think Ty Chandler was bad. He wasn't great. But you need a healthy Aaron Jones if you want to do some special things. So have you heard anything injury wise with Aaron Jones? Has there been a report yet out?
Yeah, well, the head coach immediately after the game, it's the only thing I've seen from Kevin O'Connell, is kind of the idea is, we're crossing our fingers that it's not a big deal and that he'd be available. Mike Florio, ProFootballTalk.com, Max hit on it earlier, that he's reporting that it sounds like they think they they missed anything negative, so it looks like he's probably going to be okay against the Lions. It absolutely, it changed when he was gone. It changed. It was a problem, and I like Ty Chandler, but whether it's pass protection, it's the efficiency, specifically running up the middle, and that toss, man, catch the freaking ball, Ty.
Yeah, come on.
But we like Ty. We respect Ty. Let me ask you this, have you ever played like a neutral site game?
Basketball wise?
Yeah, because I remember when I went, and I wasn't near the team for the entirety of the weekend. It was kind of, we were doing radio shows in London, and but just kind of uprooting everything and having to adjust to that. And there was a little bit, it's a showcase for your European, and in this particular case, your British fan base. It's kind of got some spectacle to it. And I'm just curious how weird that is, whether, maybe it's as simple as like just even trying to work your way through a Big Ten tournament game, and you're in Indy or in Chicago or whatever, and there's a very neutral or maybe an ominous vibe at United Center in Chi-Town for the Big Ten tournament. But like just neutral site game, everybody's got to deal with it, but there's a little more spectacle to it than normal. Like, I'm just curious how much that plays into ultimately the execution on the field.
Oh, there definitely is. And then you add in the 7-hour time difference in London. I think the Will Reichert's fiance or wife did you see her Instagram story about how he only slept 4 hours or whatever it was? But it's just like, it's such a different, it's such a change of events. And I think also.
Kid's unflappable.
Yeah, exactly. He just nails everything, just sneaks it in the right side of that up right there. But no, I think for me, we play in a lot of MTEs, multiple team events. I think it's a very common basketball thing, especially Thanksgiving time, Christmas time, different tournaments and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, invitationals and such.
Exactly. And you play in these massive arenas, and this isn't the NFL situation, but for us, they aren't as filled up as, they would be if you played a home game or whatever it may be. And it's just like, it's a different locker room. It's, it's not the same, athletic training room. It's a different warm up, and, obviously with the time change, but, I thought we came out and we executed early, and we did some really, really good things. Obviously Van Ginkel's pick 6 was amazing. I don't know. I think he's one of my favorite Vikings defenders already ever. Yeah. Just the way he has a knack for what's going on. It seems like he knows the exact route that guys are running. He's kind of in that press at the line, and then he drops back, and it's like, I know exactly where you're going with the football, and I'm going to pick it and bring it to the house. So, but no, these off-site games, and they can be weird. They can be a challenge. We saw Justin Jefferson with a couple uncharacteristic drops that he usually brings in. Obviously, that New York secondary was handsy, man. They dang good. But they were really physical and handsy, and they were doing some stuff that you can't do legally in football. But obviously, Justin has 92 yards, six catches, no touchdown, but played really well, and defense was able to hold us there at the end. So you take it, and you get out of London, and you come back, and you heal up, and then right around the corner, we got more football. We get the kitty cats, and that's one you gotta get.
It's kind of been a theme, winning with while being imperfect, right? Yeah. Making mistakes, but being able to learn from it after a win versus a loss. Certainly a different perspective there. It's funny you mentioned Van Ginkel. Second on the team in receiving yards, by the way. He had 63 as part of that pick 6. It was a tough day through the air for the Vikings.
It was.
But Van Ginkel, two people that come out right away for me where the voices don't match the face. Kyle Anderson of the Wolves, slow-mo. I hear him talk. I'm like, who is this person? Yeah. And Van Ginkel.
Is he the same way? Huh? I haven't heard him speak. No,
at some point, find a quote, find an audio clip, and you're like, hold on here. This can't be him. It's unbelievable. Very, very nice, soft-spoken, very unassuming, very Midwest.
Really?
Maybe that's what it is. The Iowa kid in him comes out. Thanks for hanging out with me, man. I really appreciate it. You always help with PJ, and you're a blast to spend some time with, talking about not only the Gophers doing business at on USC on Saturday night, but the Vikings yesterday. And there's a bye week next Monday, so I guess we'll probably be talking about a UCLA multiple score victory next Monday. You in for that?
Yeah, we're in for that. Hopefully we're talking about a Lynx victory as well. I think they play right up around the corner here, Game 5.
Game 5 tomorrow night. At Target Center. And the winner goes on to face the Liberty in the WNBA Finals. Let's go.
Let's do it, man. This place needs another championship.
Might as well.
Might as well get one.
and the one team that we can count on for titles.
Those dang Lynx, man.
The dang Lynx. Keep it going. We love them.
No doubt.
That's Parker Fox at Parker Fox 24 via X. Final segment is next.
Man.
Final segment, 9 to noon. It's a shorty. I took Parker Fox a little longer last segment than I should have, and Abbott's going to yell at me. I appreciate everybody for hanging out on a Monday morning, 9 to noon. PA safe travels back from London. And I'm going to be in for him, I believe, tomorrow as well. Lavelli Neal III will be in studio around 10. Ryan Burns, who covers the Gophers for Gophers Illustrated, he's going to be in the mix. Paul Charchian as well. Want to get his thoughts. Kind of doing faves through 5 for a 5-0 Vikings team. Very much different maybe than some envisioned 5 weeks ago, but here we are. And just kind of working our way into the pause, keeping tabs. Hopefully Aaron Jones is healthy for the Kitties game 13 days from today. But faves through 5 is kind of going to be part of the vibe tomorrow. So thank you, Max, for hanging out. And thank you for listening to The Fan. The program is next. Have a great afternoon.
Podcast today's Paul Allen Show, or listen back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.